Good evening, fine Americans. It is time to do your duty and sit your ass down. Watch this show with I and the rest of the gang on this movie review extravaganza with I, Captain Radio. And one of the very patriotic Cosby kids over here from Fat Albert. And come on. Wow, we were having such a good time. I know. You're back. Come on. Yeah. Well, you mission accomplished. You are a true hero yourself. Oh, villain. Oh, people, how y'all doing today?
Man, you wore your underoos and everything.
I don't want a bowl of cereal. If you wonder what this is right here, I told you, I'm Captain Radio. You need a reference? Let me. And it ring a bell right there? No? Hey, how about this?
I don't know how he captured the most unflattering angle of you like that.
I talked to him. So, y'all, this is the poster to my comedy show. It's coming up, as you can see, on March 28th. And I just talked to him. I was like, but for real, change that goddamn picture. I said, why'd you choose that? He said, well, I don't want to be too serious because it's a comedy show. I said, but you want to get too serious, but you don't have to get stupid either.
Right. He's like, listen to this comedy show, like, no, that dude looks mentally challenged. Yeah, that show's gonna be stupid.
Come to my show. Somebody said, tell a joke. I have a joke for you. You want one? Listen to the comedy stylings of Captain Radio. I have a joke for you, sir.
What's that?
Why did tomato blush?
He tell you the joke before?
I haven't heard this one.
Okay.
Why did the tomato blush?
Why?
Because it saw the salad dressing.
He didn't tell me that one, but I heard it back in the 30s.
Hey, I have another one for you.
Oh, no.
What did the hat say to the other hat?
I don't know. What?
Stay here. I'm going on ahead.
You know, Johnny Carson used to do this routine.
Yay! I'll be here all night. All right, y'all. Let's get into Captain America, Brave New World. Probably going to end up being kind of a controversial film. And you know what? It already is. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
It's funny. They changed the title to make it less controversial.
Well,
What was the original title?
they failed.
New World Order.
Oh.
Yeah, and that did not help at all. Ooh, but imagine how bad it would have been. I mean, they were trying to do right by people, because with Brave New World, Marvel finally is acknowledging that big ass hand.
Right, that shit been there for years.
That everybody's been ignoring for like about 10 movies.
Right.
Nobody talked about this big ass hand, this hat out in the ocean. So big it's up in the atmosphere.
And they were like, well, if we don't look at it, maybe it'll just go away.
Yeah. Well, how?
Oh, it's still there.
Planes running into it. I really was like, man, y'all do something about this.
Right.
This damn hand over here.
Well, as long as they didn't talk about it, it was like the Eternals didn't happen.
Exactly.
But now it's like, okay, well, I guess it did.
Yeah, but they are now ready to try to address that. Yes, Eternals does exist because they were trying to ignore that for a long time. But that hand could raise it up like trying to ask a question. Who, me? I'm here. Me.
Yeah. Who else? Sorry.
Yeah. All right. What do you want? But yeah, man. Oh, and also giving the Incredible Hulk from 2008. They're giving that a little love too. But they're digging for that adamantium right here with that big hand. And that's why they have to go ahead and address the Eternals, because it's going to be play a big part in the MCU. And, if you've been paying attention or your comic books, you know that with adamantium, they're setting up the X-Men out there. But before we get to them X-Mans, the world needs to decide how they're going to split up that adamantium. Is that how you say that?
Yeah.
The adamantium when they get it. And that's not going to be too easy to do when you have the president of the United States out there acting like a goddamn fool. And it's not his fault, some people would say, because, hey, there's a shadowy villain behind the scenes that's controlling. Ooh, this sounds too much like real life.
I know. Can we do one of these shows without mentioning Trump?
I didn't mention him. I just said that there was the president being controlled by a shadowy supervillain in the background. I said no names. But the only one who can come in,
the only one
who can save the day, who has access to the president and can hopefully find out what's going on and try to get him in line, is that new Captain America. Where you at, man? Come on, I'm playing this trailer. I'm talking about you now. This is your movie. Where you at? Come on, Captain America. There he is, Anthony Mackie as Captain America. Only he can get to the bottom of this. But more importantly, in addition to trying to get the president in line and figure out what's going on with him, played by Harrison Ford, who is actually, what's his name? Thunderbolt.
Thunderbolt Ross.
Thunderbolt Ross, the Hulk chaser out there. But more importantly, at least for old Cap, is that he has to save his friend, who is the original Captain America, Isaiah Bradley. He's been mixed up in this whole thing and has been accused of an assassination attempt. And they're putting him right back where they had him years ago. Mm-hmm. They tested his ass. And I ain't going back to jail.
I don't want to go back in the box.
And Cap said, well, yeah, you got to.
I'm Captain America. Get your ass in there.
I got to buy some time to try to figure this out. So, yeah, put that jumpsuit back on. Get your...
Do it for me.
Yeah, no pomade for you, apparently. No hair grease.
Please don't act a fool and get yourself killed.
Yeah, please. And just sit it out, brother. We're going to try to figure out what's going on. Oh, this new Captain America has his hands full. And then there's the rest of the world. And I'm talking about us, not the people in the movie. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But let's take a look at this trailer one more time for Captain America Brave New World.
Since when were they red?
You want me? Come and get me!
Oh, shit.
I said,
wait, I ain't got the serum. I
think this through, goddamn. Oh, let me see here, y'all. So much controversy. For a movie that tried to have no controversy, well, they got it in an extra helping of it too. I think they came back for thirds. Here, hold this. Yeah, so much controversy with this movie, man. So there's this thing that just came out today. Whistleblower report about how, you can see it right here. This is Fandom Post, but this is everywhere. There was a Vulture report that says alleged Captain America Brave New World crew member says everyone on the crew knew this is probably not going to be a good film. And maybe that's true, because there have been reports of trouble behind the set with this movie for a while, reshoots and all this kind of stuff. There's a protest over an Israeli actress in this movie.
Oh boy, I didn't know that was part of it.
Anthony Mackie and his remarks or his comments. There's people they got on him about that for a while. Something about make America and patriotism and whatnot. There's 3 other dudes that are coming out and causing trouble for this movie.
Really?
Yeah, you probably heard of them, D, E, and I.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's a conservative backlash over this movie. And also, let me just say this, the movie is pretty ambitious on its own, because you're trying to combine comic book storytelling with a classic political thriller. This right here, y'all, y'all wouldn't recognize this movie. You're too young for it. Some of you might recognize some of the people in it. I tell you, you got to see this movie. It's The Manchurian Candidate. It has Frank Sinatra doing kung fu. Actually, and missed. Frank Sinatra actually broke his hand, I think.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised.
In that part, he had
probably some of the bones right there.
And he had a little bump on his hand. I remember hearing this a long time ago for the rest of his life on his hand right there. But anyway, that's The Manchurian Candidate. It's a movie about, and you hear people reference this, you probably even know what it's from. It's a movie about about mind control.
A sleeper agent.
Yeah, sleeper agents. Yeah,
okay.
this dude here's a certain word, a trigger word, and it turns him into an assassin. You'll see some of that in this movie.
Well, that was the whole thing with Bucky.
Yeah,
That's a big
yeah,
thing.
exactly.
Didn't they remake that movie?
They
Yeah,
did
with
with
Denzel
Denzel.
Washington.
Denzel. Okay, I
Yeah.
was like, I could have sworn I've seen that.
Yeah, so this is an extension of Winter Soldier in a lot of ways, man, because they're kind of doing the whole thing with the assassin being controlled by a trigger word. That plays a larger part in this. It has the same kind of tone, like also being an action
Political thriller.
Yeah. But I'm gonna tell you, man, for all the controversy and negativity that this movie is getting, and I normally don't even look at reviews before the movie comes out, or I'm sorry, before our reviews come out, before we do the show. But I couldn't help but see the reviews for this. Because I was looking up some other stuff, and there were stories about how at first it was split, and then they were talking about how this movie now has one of the lowest ratings for a Marvel film.
Damn.
And I sat back and thought about it, and look, man, I told you I'm never influenced by these reviews, and I just got to tell you, man, I like the movie. I'm one of those people who's just, listen, we all have that movie that the general public or the majority they don't like it, but for some reason we like it, and this is that movie for me. I'm that anomaly here. I like this film. And listen, I'm not here to defend the movie. I'm not here to argue with anybody about the movie. I'm not. I'm actually open. I'm really open to hearing why people don't like the movie. And I say people, perhaps y'all. If you don't like the film.
I'm on your side. I like the movie.
Okay. Well, I'm not saying do not like it. I'm just saying if you don't like it, I'm actually looking forward to hearing that. You might even change my mind.
Well, I'll say this. I don't love the movie, but I do like it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And in liking it, I see a lot of flaws with it.
Right, I'm the same way.
But I also see a lot of things that I actually really like or love. So that kind of evens it out. Mm-hmm. But when it was all said and done, I was like, I really was. And I just say I was entertained, but I was like, there's a lot of good stuff here. If it's to me, like the biggest flaw with the movie is it's not allowed to be itself because it's carrying the water. It has on its back. It's like they say, like, we can make this movie, but only if you can do these extra favors for us, which is connect to this movie and connect to this show and bring this around full circle.
Yeah,
and,
you're right.
And introduce this character.
Yeah.
And it's those things that kind of get in the way to drag it down.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
But outside of that, the story idea I think is great.
Yeah.
And man, Anthony Mackie is he's just Captain America all day. He is this movie. I mean, there's a lot of good things in the movie, but he is the greatest thing.
Yeah. People. So I'm there. I'm right there with y'all. There are major flaws with this movie, and some of them I was predicting before anybody had anything negative to say about the movie. I was just looking at the trailer and I was like, I don't know about that. Mm-hmm. And then I left. I was like, yeah, I know now. Yeah, I don't like that. But let me just tell you what it is that I'm looking at the movie. And some of this is why I don't like to read reviews or look at reviews or anything before we do our reviews, because now it seems like I'm going to be responding to these reviews. But I can't help but, it was going to, listen, whether I saw any commentary about the movie or not, these are still going to be my opinion. Yeah. So, but I'll just address them in the sense that, these are some of the things I read. I'm like, well, you know what? I disagree with that. So one of the things that I disagree with this, well, no, actually, let me tell you what works here. First of all, you talk about Anthony Mackie. Yes, Anthony Mackie is a great actor. He is coming to his own right here in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I mean, from that, for people on the fence about him, when you saw him, being to Captain America's left, we're talking about Steve Rogers. He's come a long way, man. And the thing is, this brother has actually, he has taken that title of Captain America and he has owned it with this movie right here. Regardless of what you think about the movie, he is a great Captain America, man. He can lead a Marvel movie.
Oh, yeah.
Right, yes.
Yeah. And a smart thing they do, which it was done in the comics, so it's not like they came up with it, but having Joaquin Torres as the Falcon, that way you can't look at Anthony Mackie and go like, you ain't Captain America, you the Falcon. It's like, nope, he's the Falcon.
That's Falcon right there.
Falcon, yeah. But man, Anthony Mackie can lead a Marvel movie. You might not like what they're doing in this film story-wise, but give him a great script. Let's just say you put him in an Avengers movie where he has to lead. Have no doubt. Well, there's no doubt in my mind that he cannot lead a Marvel movie. He cannot lead the Avengers. Also, I like him with Harrison Ford in the movie.
Yeah.
Now, Harrison Ford is doing the same thing you expected to do. And mad as shit, but man,
Well, he is Harrison Fording it up.
he is, man. Harrison Ford. I don't know when you get so mad, man.
That's funny because that article you talking about, the little bit I read said he was like that the whole time.
That's what I was reading too. Yeah.
No, I heard he was
he's
like
a pain ass to work with.
like a just damn angry, grumpy ass prima donna.
Yeah, this shit is stupid anyway. They're a bunch of clowns, but I'll take the money, I guess.
What's a Red Hulk? What's a matter? What's this shit?
You can write this shit, but you sure can't say it. We can say it. Everybody else can say it.
Yeah.
Where's my weed?
Yeah, smoke this shit, man.
Right. Chill the fuck out.
Thought we were supposed to calm your ass down.
Shit making them matter.
Hey, you need a new strain, man. But hey, as for the movie, I think it fits his character because there are great scenes with Anthony Mack and Harrison Ford where I just love their growing antagonism in the movie, man. And because you could tell there's tension and they're trying to be cool with each other, and you just know that they're not. It's not going to work out.
Right.
Yeah, just say and move on.
Well, especially with Sam Wilson, he's like, I don't trust you. I don't like you, but I'm trying to work with you.
Right.
But I got to work with you.
I'm trying to make this work.
Because I have to.
Which is why I want you to help me rebuild the Avengers.
You're like, this is a setup.
The way you're talking to him, like, I arrest him, but you know what? You're one of the good ones. You're a credit to your race.
You really thinking like there's some racist shit going on? Is this real? I don't know. I mean, he did hire a sister behind me, but I don't know about this.
This movie has a lot of stuff where if you're black, you can read between the lines. It's like it's right there clear. It's like, huh? I mean, I'm not saying it's as black as Black Panther, but it's kind of up there.
No, it is. There's I think that actually has some effect on how this movie is perceived. But I'll get into that in a little bit. Like I said, Harrison Ford, his crankiness works here, man. Shit. I'm looking at him right here, and this fool, he. When you can hear him, because he really is grumbling his way through this movie. I'm like, damn, I mean, I know it's your thing, but get this man a glass of water.
Right.
Yeah, but
get that water away from me.
And what I love about him in the movie is that he's trying to be cool.
Right, yeah.
Because the movie starts out with him flipping tables and mad and tearing shit up. And they actually have to say, if you're going to run for president, you got to calm your ass down. But he can't control himself. Hell, I'm looking at him. He should be in a little girl's brain right now. With his head on fire. He commits. He gives a solid performance, no matter how dumb he thinks this is. He goes in there, he says his lines, and I will tell you one thing I did like, small detail. They do explain, this is something that you didn't like at first, they do explain why he does not have the mustache.
Oh, yeah.
I won't say what it is, but they give a very good reason
They do.
as to why. And it does, man, it makes complete sense.
And that's all I asked for. Just give me a good explanation. I'll go with it.
Yeah.
Give me a half-ass explanation. I'll go with it.
They gave a good explanation.
Yeah,
It makes
they
total
did.
sense. The story here, yes, it has problems, y'all. But I'll just say this. There's one thing that I have a bias for coming in liking this movie is that I do like the darker continuing feel. And we already talked about this of something like Winter Soldier.
Mm-hmm.
This is like a combo of Winter Soldier, a James Bond movie, and as I just told you, The Manchurian Candidate. I think it's a mix that doesn't always work. And there's a reason why I think it worked better in Winter Soldier, and I'll tell you why in a little bit. But I would say this: it does. It's not perfect. It definitely stumbles a lot. But when it was hitting, it was fun.
Yeah,
It was, yeah.
I agree. Yeah, and it could have worked as well as Winter Soldier. If it just didn't have so many other things tugging at it.
Yeah.
I mean, Winter Soldier wasn't beholden to anything. It wasn't even beholden to the first Captain America movie.
No.
There was no going back. But with this one, there's so many it's going like, hey, I hope you watch the Falcon and the Winter Soldier because that's important.
Yeah.
And if you don't remember the Hulk, we're real quick. Go back and rewatch that, the Incredible Hulk, and then come back.
Yeah.
And well, this thing with Eternals, maybe you don't have to rewatch that again. But if you saw it, you know.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of that. But also, this plot, it's simpler than the Winter Soldier was, and yet they have characters explain and re-explain what's happening like 2 or 3 times. I know. It's like, man, you got to trust your audience to know.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they've been showing it in front of focus groups who've been like, I don't know, I don't like it.
Yeah.
So it made them panic and do something stupid.
Yeah, that's probably why you have to reshoot and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's another thing you brought up is like, and we're falling to this thing now, and I think this is the problem with the shows. It's become a problem with the movies. There's this. It was cool when it's in phase 1, connecting everything. Now it's too much, and now we're connecting with things that we left a long time ago, and now you're trying to bring this back.
Yeah,
and it's like so.
I was thinking about that on the way over here, like the things that go wrong with this movie. I was like, you know what? I think the Disney Plus shows were a failed experiment.
No, they were. They did not help. They
didn't help. All they did was they
muddied the waters.
They muddied the waters. Yeah, it would have been better to not do those and save up those ideas and resources to do full-on movies.
Because we doing things that we ain't going back to. Ain't nobody going back. I mean, maybe later on by that time, everybody gonna be like, what? Like Miss Marvel.
Yeah.
We're not the Marvels itself was something that was too reliant on other things. So I think what you're seeing here with this is that I think this is on the tail end of that practice, that habit of trying to connect everything, and maybe moving forward, hopefully Marvel will be leaner.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, man, but listen, while the story has its flaws, I will say that the pacing at times I think is pretty tight.
Yeah.
And I think because I was saying, okay, that's flawed right there. That's I could go, but I will say that I never did feel any drag.
No. It
all.
moves at a good clip.
The pacing keeps it tight.
Yeah.
Whether you're liking the story or not, you can say that it keeps moving. It keeps moving. So here's something that I did want to address that some people have been criticizing. They've been criticizing the look of the movie. And I would say this, maybe it's inconsistent, but it's probably for a good reason. Because I think that, first of all, it's nice to see a movie without a whole lot of loud colors.
Yeah.
This of course is a darker tone and it's more of a shadowy movie right down to how it looks. And I'm gonna tell you something. The reason why I like that, not only because Marvel has just been too jelly bean colorful for a while in certain movies and very bright, but I will tell you why those movies look like that. Because those movies look flat. And Marvel's not the only one that can be accused of that. This is for any movie that has a lot of CG and a lot of green screen.
Yeah.
When you have those movies that are lit on green screen, they have to light them flat.
Yeah.
So that they can put in effects and make it be flexible with those effects. A lot of stuff they're doing post with it. So they had to light it all. This movie, being that it's more of a spy thriller, means that they shot in more real life locations. So when you do that, you're able to get shadows and good contrast to darker colors and no pun intended with Anthony Mackie there, but your blacks, whatnot. So I thought the cinematography for the places that were shot in real life places, I said, you know what, this looks like a movie instead of a special effects film or something. And the thing is, it is a special effects film.
Yeah.
And when they get to those special effects, that's when it turns into more of a CG action film. But you even look like when they're shooting on real sets with real furniture and real walls and real things in there instead of a green screen, I think it looks good.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's a bad looking film. And I think people be a little too harsh on that, but sometimes you'll get the contrast of the CG scenes and then they'll mix it in with this nice cinematography and it feels inconsistent.
I didn't think it felt inconsistent. I just did think, I think the direction was, or at least the camera work was so much flat, but I was like, it's missing pop. You know what I mean? Like it was done by somebody who was competent, but not somebody who was like extra special. And that's what I kept thinking, like, this movie just keeps missing the boat on doing something a little extra special.
Yeah, I don't know. I really like the cinematography here, but I can see, I can see that.
But you know what? One of the things people have been complaining about, rightfully so, with Marvel movies, is that they've just been more comedies. Like barely, everybody like, can we get serious about anything? And this is not a jokey movie.
No.
Which is not to say it's super self-serious. There's moments of levity.
Yeah.
But it's not one of these wacky comedies.
Well, that's why I like the darker, grittier tone. And I think people actually, and we've all been saying, can y'all stop joking? Can y'all stop playing? And now they have it, and y'all trying to hold that against saying, man, y'all ain't that fun.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, can we? Because now they're even trying to say, man, they didn't even do the Marvel pages at the beginning. I was like, well, I think that's because they were trying to fit the tone of this feeling like a retro political thriller.
Exactly.
Right.
I don't think that was done because they were ashamed of the movie, or they're trying to push this aside and bury it. I don't think that's the case at all. I like the action sequences in here. I thought that they have a jet fighter sequence in here that y'all been seeing in the trailer. I actually thought that was that sequence was a lot of fun. Of course, it's one of their bigger special effects CG scenes, and again, you can tell. But I thought it was pretty fun. But I think that the fights were pretty cool. I thought they were done pretty well.
Well, especially that end fight. It's like they saved everything up for that.
Yeah.
That was exciting.
I even like the intro fight because I think it's a nice opening sequence. It's a rescue sequence.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it's a good display of Captain America's Sam Wilson and Anthony Mackie. I think it's a good display of his heroics, because he's putting hostages over the mission and whatnot. So it shows what heart is. It shows that he can handle it. Even if the dialogue is a little cheesy sometimes.
Damn. Nobody saw that.
So there you go. Get a little bit of humor right there and whatnot. A little cheesy, but yeah. And by the way, I really like Danny Ramirez, who's the Falcon.
Oh yeah.
He forgot the character's name.
Joaquin Torres.
Yeah. I liked him and Captain America together, man. I thought they had a good, natural feeling friendship. They have a good back and forth.
Anthony Mackie had good chemistry with everybody he interacted with.
Right.
Sure did.
That's why I said my other review.
Hell, Anthony Mackie. Hey, look, I ain't giving y'all no spoiler here when I say this. I'm not. But Anthony Mackie is so likable. That fool you couldn't tell by his trailer, but that fool even had a chemistry with the Hulk at the end.
Yeah, right. Come on, Hulk, man.
Hey, man, we cool. Yeah, man.
Why are we doing this?
It's getting real low.
Hey, man, we boys, remember? Yeah. Thought they did a good job on making the Red Hulk like Harrison Ford's face.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, and so I don't know, man. This is there's some things to like here, and a lot of people I think they're being harsh on the film. And listen, I can't even argue with those people because what I think might be a flaw might be a bigger flaw to other people out there. But yeah, I'll tell you that I've been very favorable of the movie, but like I said, there are flaws, and we're about to get into that in a little bit. But before I do that, since I'm gonna be so negative right here, let me go ahead and do a word from our sponsor at this moment right here.
Wow, no awkward segue. Huh?
None at all.
I thought about it.
Hey, I thought for sure Captain Radio had a way to segue into it.
Listen, these people not gonna jump on me. They're like, why you doing that voice when you trying to talk about our product right here? No, Captain Radio can't come in and talk about better health.
Oh shit! That'd been perfect.
No, man, I ain't gonna come in and do. Man, I'm not coming in and doing Captain Radio with that voice talking about this. No,
they will understand.
No, they will not. No, they will not. I would need some therapy after doing that. After they drop me from this ad right here. But no, people, let's go ahead and talk about BetterHelp. And I want to talk about BetterHelp because, listen, I haven't told you this in a while, but my whole thing about therapy is that a lot of people, they take therapy very seriously when they should, but they take it so seriously they think it's for like the worst of conditions. Oh, I'm going to harm myself. Oh man, I'm having dark thoughts. Oh man, I need some medication. No. I mean, yes. Listen, you might need therapy for that, but also you might just need therapy to organize your mind. You might need therapy just to work on your relationship. with your partner, your friends. You know, like, look, therapy it helps you with a lot of things. Man, my house is dirty. I need to get my mind together. Go get some therapy. And the best thing about it is that therapy is online now. And the best place to start with online therapy is, you guessed it, coming from the captain himself. Listen to me now. Listen to me. BetterHelp. You know, with BetterHelp, it's fully online. It makes therapy affordable and convenient. Serves over 5 million people worldwide. That's right, this code for you. BetterHelp.com/doubletoasted. You put that in, you'll get 10% off your first month. I want to thank BetterHelp for sponsoring this portion of the show. And I want to thank all of you out there for your support. And now back to this review right here. Okay, so here's some of the things that I was watching the movie. When I was watching the movie, and I was saying, all right, that's not working for me.
Okay.
So the thriller, the political thriller parts, they're very gritty. You know, a lot of them felt grounded. And I think it kind of clashed when the movie went into like full comic book mode. You know, like this is something I said with the trailer. I don't know how that dark, grounded that gritty political thriller feel is gonna work out when you have the president turn into a damn Red Hulk over here. Also, I don't want to tell you about, because you already know, but I'm not going to say anything. But there's another villain in here, and he's walking around looking crazy. It's just like I was like, for me, I'm like, I don't know if he fits with some of this.
No, he doesn't fit. You really forgot him from
Right,
Incredible
yes,
Hulk.
yeah, I
Because
forgot all
come out
about
to
him.
the last 2 seconds.
Yeah.
And then the makeup they do on him here
looked-
is
shit
so
was terrible.
half-assed.
It looked terrible.
It really looked like a plastic shower cap they stuck on his head.
Yeah, with
And
some
painted
rocks
on
under it or
some-
something.
With some green
it's
makeup.
So funny when you first see him, he's always in low lights. So you
Yeah,
never get to see, like, you know what I'm
right.
saying, his upper part. And when you see it, like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Like, go back to that low light.
It's like,
Yeah.
y'all don't want to do something about this?
Yeah,
Can I get in and do it? I know I can make it better.
I thought
Yeah.
he was kind of weak too.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Yeah,
Almost
see,
like an afterthought.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. I was
just-
like, I don't have no faith in you.
This
Well, at
man
first I did, but
went
I was
around
like,
this movie looking like a damn frog and
oh, that's
I did. I was like, man, I was like this. Okay, see that now. This is what I'm talking about with. And like I said, I'm not gonna tell you who he is, but if you saw who I'm talking about and you've seen the movie already, some of you know what I'm talking about. Look like a damn cartoon frog running around, and that's the problem with what.
frog.
Man, he looked kind of froggy, and Martin's right. Look like he had a
when he go
shower cap.
outside, when he go outside, you see it.
They put him in way too much bright light.
Yeah.
I'm like, y'all put this damn amphibian looking man in broad daylight to look to see how bad he looks.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm sorry, this looks bad. He looks bad. The Hulk looks good, but it just feels weird and out of place. It's like they took a very dark political thriller and then threw in some action figures and toys.
And the problem with Red Hulk, like, you know, we see him in the trailer, so we know he's there.
Yeah.
And they just like they hold out
Bro,
to so late. That's like, man, this is cool, but you should have been weaving this in and out
He don't
up to
show-
now.
If y'all expecting Red Hulk, and look, he don't show tight that last 15 minutes.
Yeah.
But you know, it's like we already see. You've been teasing it. Like, this is what's wrong with some trailers now. It's like, because you got Harrison Ford as the president and the movie. Like, man, we know what you're gonna do.
I know, just do it, shit. Even the villain, like,
We saw the trailer, man.
Right, just turn.
I need my pills. Like, those goddamn change
I want
already.
to go up and kick him in his ass just to give him a little extra anger. Bitch, turn. Turn to.
Shit, I help you turn shit.
We know you've been like this the whole movie. What you coming?
What's it gonna take?
Right.
You've been tearing up furniture. And everything. The Winter Soldier, why did it not have this problem? Because the Winter Soldier did not go to those links. You know, they did not have a big crazy looking Hulk. They didn't have a frog man walking through here. You know, the biggest threat in here was an organization and a corrupt politician. That was your big reveal. So the movie kind of kept the same tone.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Which is weird to say because this is Marvel, but I mean, I don't know, man. I'm not saying you can't have the Hulk and a Salamander Man in the movie, you know, doing things. It's just I don't think they weaved it in very well here.
Well, even with the TV series, they didn't have any kind of like big supervillain like that.
Yeah, no, that's true.
No.
In this movie, like the one that we are being very careful to
Not show.
our name at the moment. If you really think about it, now the movie moves at a pace to where you might not, but if you really think about it, that shit don't make no sense.
Yeah, I was like, how is he getting dumber throughout the movie?
Yeah.
I'm like, at first I'm like, okay, I get what you're doing. I understand the motivation and stuff like that. And as it goes along, I'm like, what, bro? Like, how you getting? All right.
Well, I'll just say it's very Manchurian Candidate. It involves mind control, and when you really start thinking about, like, how'd you do that? Okay, how did that happen right there? Some of these, I really don't. I mean, maybe there are answers, but at my
calculations.
You're right. Yeah.
The calculations.
No, hell.
I got 85%.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck out of here.
But the odds, though. I've calculated the odds.
Plot holes. Shut up! Don't think about it. Yeah, man, and that's another thing with the movie too. They do some of this. Some of it works, the mind control stuff, but some parts of it, again, as good as the tone of this film is at points, when some characters get mind control, they do the mind control dance. The mind control
Turn into a robot.
Yes, master. They have a whole platoon. Oh yeah, using mind control in there. I'm like, man, come on, man. So basically, this movie that has such this again, this dark and serious feel to it has some very cartoonish moments in it.
I forgot about
that. And they don't work together.
Yeah, it makes you wonder if they had a smarter movie and then the test audience was like, we don't get it. And they're like, all right, let's dumb this down. Let's have every one of these characters re-explain the plot to these dumbasses.
You have to kind of be careful how you do this. Maybe it's all lighting and everything, but these characters come in and they look like this looks cartoonish here. Yeah. No matter how much we try to make it look like Harrison Ford, make it look realistic, it's really not fitting this movie right here, man, which is crazy because it's a Marvel movie. I feel stupid saying it, but they create a certain tone and really just didn't know how to make things really fit into it sometimes.
Yeah, they kind of back themselves into a corner. It's like, oh, you making that kind of movie? Yeah, well, that's cool and all, but you got to put this Hulk in there.
Yeah, you better put this Hulk in there.
And listen, Red Hulk is a thing in the comics. Right. I know, but I mean, again, strategy. There's just need to be a more strategic way to do this than the way we do it. That's our side right here. Maybe not have it out here in front of these goddamn cherry blossoms, which I know there's a reason why. I'm not going to say anything, but again, this is all bright and it just. With this being so bright and sunny and everything, it just doesn't. None of this feels right. Another thing with this is that we're talking about how they're trying to connect with these movies, and that is true, man. It's like, come on, man. I don't know how you would have done this because, as we said, listen, we can't ignore that damn hand out there. We can't. I don't. So I can't really fault the movie.
That one was like okay. It's being addressed. That's fine.
And everybody keeps bringing it up.
And and you connected it to adamantium, which we know what that leads to. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
But then it just kept going.
It kept going. And the thing is, okay, so maybe this is the problem. I'm not even saying it's a big problem for me, but maybe this is going to be a problem for other people. Maybe this is why people are actually coming and criticizing the movie so much because, you're trying to tie this movie and you're trying to, again, what were we saying earlier? We're trying to finally connect these things.
Yeah,
we're trying to finally addressing all this, but we're addressing this with two mediocre movies. Incredible Hulk was good, but it wasn't banging like the other ones.
Yeah. We could have forgotten all of that and we were fine.
Yeah. So you're trying to connect this to two, as far as time has made these movies mediocre films. The Eternals and the Incredible Hulk. So listen, we've been mentioning the Hulk, so I don't really mind that so much. We keep talking about the Harlem incident. It's been mentioned. Your boy, the Abomination, showed up and She-Hulk.
Yeah.
So, and like I said, we got to talk about adamantium and the hand and everything. But, they're two mediocre movies. And addressing them and trying to connect them in the same film. I don't know. Maybe that's a bad addressing two things that people either didn't like or didn't care for too much.
Right. While already being a continuation of the TV series Falcon and the Winter Soldier, because a lot that happens there that you need to know about when you come into this one.
Yeah.
And kind of a plug for the Thunderbolts. in this as well.
Yeah.
That's what I say. It's trying to do too many things.
As I said, some dialogue is goofy. It's other things don't help. They got some stupid ass marketing for this movie. Hulk feet. Nobody want no Hulk feet.
Oh, come on,
That's a
man.
thing?
Yeah, Pete, Hulk hands. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
But nobody want to walk around with big red feet. And
They trying to make some
if you're
money.
gonna get some Hulk feet, we want green. We don't want no
Green,
red feet.
yeah.
Everybody be talking about who you supposed to be. Right. Cheap red foot over here.
Is that the Temu version?
Who want these old ragged ass looking feet looking like you got psoriasis and bunions? It's crazy. Another thing that probably don't work, this man's hair. Why y'all do this man like this? Got this poof on his head.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it looks good when he has it slicked back in his suit, but when he don't put the pomade on it, I was just like, that is an odd haircut for him. It's very distracting. I mean, I'm just like, is this a thing where he got stuck in time, like back in the 80s when you did shit like that, and,
Yeah, what
and he
is-
just doesn't change?
This dude, I was like, what are you doing, man? Because I have a theory that Marvel wanted to cut his hair. He's like, no, you ain't. He think that's cool.
It's taking me this long to grow it out.
Yeah.
But most of the time I've seen Carl Lumbly, he's kept his hair cut close.
Yeah, not here.
I know.
He looking like a black sideshow Bob right here. What are you doing, man? I'm like you. I could not stop looking at this. Every time he tried to do a serious scene, I was like, man, cut that shit.
Be trying to cry and shit.
Yeah, there's a damn poof on his head. Listen, there's a lot of flaws in this movie. Like I said, I keep saying that, and I wish I could actually back this movie up more. I really do. It's a little too inconsistent for me. So the complaints out there that I see, I'm probably not going in as hard as they are. But I did enjoy the movie. I had fun with it. Probably not too much beyond a very high rental. At most a low, very low matinee. But I think I'm gonna go high rental. Because I don't think that this movie has a lot of things that need to be seen on the big screen. And it's just another thing with me just being frustrated with Marvel. I think they just, this past phase has just been very irritating to me. And I think it's the effects of it is still felt within this movie right here. And so, it'll probably be a high rental for me, man. And I ended up sitting in the theater. I had no regrets. I wasn't sitting there mad and grunting and like, when is it going to be over? Like I said, I think it moved well. But I would also say that, I feel bad saying this. I think some of the harsher things that are affecting this is that we have a political themed movie, and I don't think that's helping either. And I'm not even saying that it shouldn't be political. I'm just saying,
Time.
well, yeah, man, we're at a time when, people are trying to escape politics and they're triggered by politics. And, I think that this is, that's contributing to some of the negativity with this. You have a president that they say has dictator tendencies in the film. And of course, that's Harrison Ford. And I'm not even saying that this is what it is. I'm saying this is probably what people will see. You have a president with dictator-like tendencies in here. He gets angry. He goes on a rampage. He turns red.
But not orange.
No. But, well, he turns to a big MAGA hat. No,
Big MAGA hat.
Even if whether you're for or against the current president, you're probably seeing it here, and it's probably like, man, I'm just don't want to see this shit right now. Yeah, I'm just done with it. Which is no fault of the movie of its own. But also, I don't want to blame politics or racism for the criticism of this movie, but there is a group of people out there that I do think they're coming in and they're going hard on this movie because this is the time of DEI.
Yeah.
This is during this time where people are very harsh against diversity. I don't know why. You have a movie here. Let me go ahead and put this up. You have a movie here where I can't help but just think a little that this conservative backlash is contributing to some of the negativity here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
There's always gonna be those people.
and I doubt it's just the other things we're talking about, the reshoots. I doubt those things have a big factor here. I doubt it's Anthony Mackie's comments probably didn't help. It probably pushed out a little bit, but really, man, look, you got two main superheroes. You got one that's black and the other's brown, and they flying around, and people are like, wait a minute, they can fly now?
mean, they saving the U.S.
Yeah, a flying brown man is conservatives' worst nightmare right now. Shit, they're getting right over that wall. But also for some people, you can just think about this: a black Captain America. During this time, that just don't sit right with some people. So that's another reason why I wish I could give this movie more, because I would love for it to counter that backlash and more people be like, man, this is a great film. So the hell with you and what you think. But yeah, man. So that's why I'm disappointed that I wish I liked the movie better. I really do. But but hey, listen, I still enjoyed it. I still think it's an entertaining film. I still think the pacing is good. I just wish the script was better.
Yeah, I agree with just about all of that. Like I said, there's a laundry list of flaws and probably some things I didn't even mention. But I do come back to how much I did like or really, really like the things I liked. And for the most part, I think it's on that level of, it's like, okay, it's because they've done these Disney Plus shows, they're used to doing stuff like that. Another problem with this movie is that this falls into that category of these Marvel movies where they get directors who've only worked on small movies. Chloe Zhao with the Eternals, and Nia DaCosta with the Marvels. And they turn these big projects over to them, and I don't think they're just ready for it. And this is this director here, Ona. He had only done smaller movies,
and they said he wasn't ready for this.
Yeah,
he was being bowled over by people like Harrison Ford.
Well, that's just like with Kevin Smith, with the problems he had with Bruce Willis on Cop Out, where he said this older veteran actor was just bullied him. He never really had a chance to do anything he wanted. So reading that article, I was like, this makes sense. This is why between the studio. And, I'm going to put all the blame on Harrison Ford. But, a director like this, that studio is going to tell him what he's going to do. And he's probably just overwhelmed. They talk about it going over budget. Yeah, he's probably shooting some things. They said it was a lot of stuff that got shot that they end up scrapping.
Yeah.
And so they put together what they did and something that could satisfy the test audience. There's so many things that went wrong just in putting the movie together. And you're reading about all that, I'm surprised it came out as good as it did.
Yeah,
because it's competent. You can understand it. There's not a lot of eye rolling, and so much of it is just so likable. While I was thinking I hate to have to give this a high rental, but I was bowled over by the fight at the end. I was like, all right, this was a happy I'm seeing this on the big screen kind of thing. And while I'm not so much anxious to see this again, there's a part of me that's like, I wouldn't mind watching this again. So I'm gonna go with a low matinee.
I like the movie. Now y'all are right, man. There's definitely some flaws while watching this. I think one of the biggest flaws was that the villains were just weak. You have not Harrison. What was his last? I can't say the.
Don't say the.
Oh, don't say the. Yeah. Okay, so I can't say him, but it's like we've seen him before. And then you have John Esposito. That's the other one.
Yeah,
John Esposito.
Yeah, and he's one of my favorite actors. I love him, but I felt like he was underused in this one.
Yeah,
and I was like, I wish he was the main villain watching this, because I'm like, his scenes I thought were amazing. But it's just like he's there and he kind of just drops off. So I was like, damn, I wish they would have done more. I wish they would have done more with his character.
He's one of those characters that I think they're trying to bring him back as a bigger character later.
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah. I got that impression.
Yeah. I think like he's because he's
a Sidewinder.
I mean,
in comics he'd be like a member of the Serpent Squad. There's like a whole bunch of them.
He's like Claw or something?
Yeah, one
of those type of villains.
He's kind of like I was just about to say like he's like Claw. Yeah.
So you bring him back eventually. I was like, I don't think he'd even want to come back, but but yeah, that was one of the problems. Another thing is, I thought the pacing. I know you said the pacing you liked it.
I did.
I thought it was a little too slow at some points. And that's just for me, because there's some points where I was just kind of getting bored here and there. But I'm gonna tell you guys, I know I got down at first, but I did have fun watching this movie though. Like the action sequences, I thought were really done well. Anthony Mackie, man, like I want him to lead an Avengers movie. I don't know if they're gonna do it or not, but I really want him to lead an Avengers movie. Some of the cinematography, I thought maybe, you know, the scene that they were indoors, I thought those were shot real. I thought when they went outside, those didn't look good.
That's kind of what I was talking about.
You're
Yeah.
like, I know y'all talking about that Red Hulk. You know, y'all thought that looked good. Honestly, I didn't think that looked good.
Yeah.
Like, I thought
I just said it didn't. I didn't think it looked good.
Oh, I thought you said you did. I thought you said
No,
you did. Like
if
that
you-
last, like
if
that
you
last
heard
15,
me, I said
I thought you said that last 15 minutes.
Oh, I
You
said
like,
that.
Oh, okay, that was you that said that.
No, I actually don't like this scene.
Yeah, I was like, I
think
don't like
Michael
that.
Martin likes it a little better than I do. I did not like this fight scene that much.
I was like,
I thought it was. You heard when I said I think it's too bright.
okay.
You don't listen to
No,
me.
no. I guess I must have got y'all too confused. But yeah, I honestly that last 15 minutes I did not like. I thought the CGI. I thought I was gonna be the one when I said this, but I thought the CGI just kind of looked bad in some instances. But yeah, I was not a big fan of CGI. But look, I know I'm super kind of down the movie y'all see, but look, I had fun watching it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna give it the highest score. I'm not gonna give it the lowest score. I'll give it a low matinee.
All right, there you go. Oh,
I do like I said, that Anthony Mackie as the Falcon, he is unapologetically black. They don't whitewash the character.
no. Well, you made it to the end of the video. That must mean you really like what we do. So if you do, check out these other videos just like this one. Check out our other YouTube channels and subscribe to join our wonderful Toasty community. And as always, stay toasty.